All right, welcome to this foundational briefing on generative AI. Now, this is built specifically for you, for military and veteran professionals, people who live in a world where precision and reliability aren't just nice-to-haves, they're everything. We're going to break down what this tech is, how it really works, and, most importantly, how you can use it safely and effectively. Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first, let's get our heads straight on this. This quote right here, it's the whole ballgame. These AI systems, they aren't thinking. They're not self-aware, and they don't understand things the way a person does. What they are is incredibly powerful calculators just running the odds to predict what word should come next in a sentence. You gotta see them as a tool, not a teammate.
So let's get a clear picture of the battle space here. What exactly are we dealing with when we talk about this new wave of AI? Let's put it in plain English.
At its heart, generative AI is a pattern-matching machine, a really, really good one. It's been fed a gigantic amount of data, basically a huge chunk of the internet, books, you name it. And it uses all that to predict what comes next. Now, this makes it amazing for creating content. But here's the critical part you have to remember. It's predicting. It's not stating a known fact. It's making a highly educated guess.
Okay, so now let's pop the hood and take a look at the mechanics. Understanding how this thing actually works is key if you want to use it right, and, just as important, avoid the common traps.
The brains of this whole operation is what we call a large language model, or LLM. That's the engine that's been trained on all that data we just talked about. When you type a question into a tool like ChatGPT or Claude, it's the LLM in the background that's doing the heavy lifting to figure out your request and build a response.
So, how does the AI actually read what you type? Well, it doesn't see words the way we do. It breaks them all down into little pieces called tokens. A token could be a full word like mission, or just a part of a word like generative. This is how the model actually processes language, and it's how it measures everything, both your questions and its answers.
Next up is something called the context window. The easiest way to think about this is as the AI's short-term memory, and it's measured in those tokens we just mentioned. If your conversation gets too long and you use up all the tokens in the window, the AI literally starts to forget what you talked about at the beginning of the chat. That is a huge limitation you've got to be aware of.
Look, every capability has its vulnerabilities. And for AI, the #1 vulnerability is accuracy. Understanding the difference between what we call a hallucination and a grounded response is absolutely mission critical for anyone who needs to trust the information they're getting.
And that right there is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a system that plays the odds. So what happens when its guess, its pattern, just doesn't match up with reality? This leads to a huge split in how reliable its answers can be.
And this brings us right to that fork in the road. On one side, you have what's called hallucination. Honestly, just think of this as bad intel. The AI just makes something up, but says it with total confidence. On the other side, you have grounding. This is what happens when you give the AI a specific source, like a PDF of a regulation, and tell it to only use that document for its answers. Grounding is your verified intel. It makes the output way, way more reliable.
For anybody in this community, safety, security, and accountability, they're non-negotiable. It's just how we operate. So let's establish our rules of engagement for using this technology. And to be clear, these aren't suggestions. This is your standard operating procedure.
Here they are. 4 protocols, your safety checklist. #1, never, and I mean never, input classified or sensitive information. These public AI tools are not secure environments, period. 2, be smart about what you're describing. Don't reveal operational details that could expose a vulnerability. 3, strip out all PII. No names, no social security numbers, nothing. And 4, and this is huge, you are always accountable. The AI is a tool. You are the professional responsible for the final product. You own it.
All right, now that we've got the risks identified and our safety protocols are locked in, let's talk about the mission. Let's talk about the good stuff. How can this tool actually be a force multiplier for you?
So there are a few different types of tools for your kit bag. You've got your general AI assistants, think ChatGPT, that are great for all-purpose tasks. Then you have grounded study tools, which are perfect when you need to analyze a specific document you upload. This is how you ensure grounding. And of course, you've got specialized tools for things like coding or creating images.
So where can you put this to work, like right now? Think about transitioning from the service. AI can help you explore new career paths and knock out a first draft of a resume in minutes. It's a fantastic research assistant for digging into all your military benefits. You can use it to build study guides for a promotion board or a new cert, and honestly, it's just an incredible tool for managing your personal tasks and getting more done.
Every good briefing ends with a clear tasking. So you know what's coming. Let's get to your mission.
Okay, your assignment is to go from hearing about this stuff to actually doing it. I want you to pick one practical task and create an AI workflow you're going to use every single week. Maybe it's summarizing articles to stay current in your field or drafting a weekly status report. Whatever you choose, make sure your personal safety checklist is step 0 every single time. The goal here is to build a safe, effective habit. So, how are you going to use this tool to make yourself more effective starting this week?